It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Huh, so many people on meth. Ow!
Well, there's this woman in Akron, Ohio named Victoria Vidal who got pulled over for an outstanding warrant on Monday. And while a cop was arresting her, her pet raccoon, Chewy, did something that got her a greater charge than just an outstanding warrant. She had some contraband that was hidden in her car, but her pet raccoon, Chewy, takes it out and tries emulating that he's actually using the contraband. So if you don't think you can't train a raccoon to do drugs, let me introduce you to Chewy the raccoon. Here is the body cam footage coming from the cops when they arrested her in her car.
The reason I stopped you is you are suspended with a warrant for your arrest.
I am?
The raccoon has her meth pipe.
As what?
Oh my God.
Her meth pipe. He's playing with the meth
Hello?
pipe right now. Oh, there's no... He's trying to smoke it.
All right.
There's no way.
He is trying to smoke it.
All right, enough fun and games.
The raccoon is trying to take hits off of his owner's meth pipe.
That's not the first time that raccoon has took a hit off that pipe.
Well, you would imagine if she's smoking meth in the car, she's probably fogging out the raccoon with the meth smoke. There's
Wow.
no way there's not meth in that raccoon system.
Oh my gosh.
I think she shares the pipe with him.
Well, if it's
Wow.
licking
Yeah.
if it's licking the pipe, isn't it getting some meth in its system?
You would think.
Yeah, I don't know how the raccoon is going to feel after that. But,
I feel bad for the raccoon.
oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Does Chewy get a charge as well?
I mean, that raccoon, if it bowed up on you full of meth, it would resist arrest, first of all.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Well, this is an eye-opening story here. Yesterday, we had the bear that took out the 89-year-old man on the west coast of Florida, just south of Naples. Today, it is a woman who was kayaking on Lake Kissimmee in Polk County. A gator yanked her right out of her kayak and killed her.
Oh my gosh.
These gators are getting squirrely, man.
Yeah, it's rare that we have a fatality at the hands of a gator, and it usually seems to be somebody that's walking too close to the water's edge, somebody that's smaller, maybe an older lady or something like that. But I mean, somebody that's young and fit in a kayak, that's kind of crazy. They've dispatched a trapper to the area to try to locate the gator.
How do they know what gator kills people?
I don't know, because yesterday they wound up taking out 3 bears just to try to maybe get the one that had killed that old guy and his dog.
So 2 bears perished, and they did
3.
But I'm saying 2 were innocent.
Oh, yeah, two innocent bears. You would think. I mean, now, one maybe took out the dog, maybe one took out the guy. I don't know. Maybe it was a tandem thing where they're like tag teaming each other, like slapping a paw, and then the other one comes in. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, tag team of violent bears. That is horrific.
The lady that had to euthanize the bears had gold hair, so they were calling her Goldilocks, killed the 3 bears. That was the story.
If that doesn't make the top 5 of worst of the week, I quit.
I quit. Yeah, other troubling news, if it wasn't the gators you had to worry about, they say Florida's American crocodile population has rebounded now. 2,000 crocodiles that we have in America. And they say what's kind of alarming about it is how many crocodiles are now being found in urban or suburban areas. Wow. They like the city, apparently.
City croc?
Yes. They found 15 crocs that they were tracking with satellite tags in urban areas. And they said, yeah, we thought you guys were going to hang out over there. Now you're hanging out over here. In fact, one of the crocs famously traveled 100+ miles back to a residential area that it liked.
Dang.
City crocs. They have cell phones. They're in suits.
We should sing our version of Crocodile Rock for them since they're here.
That actually might be the way to get rid of them.
I know that's how we can get rid of ratings.
Yeah. Repels people and crocodiles. They say, though rarely aggressive, sightings like the one near a playground have prompted safety fears and petitions to try to do something about the growing crocodile population. But the experts urge calm, stressing coexistence and habitat preservation as urban sprawl here in Florida continues to shrink the wild spaces.
If I saw a croc on a swing just chilling at a park, that's when you know, all right.
Smoking.
Yeah, something's in the water.
Well, this is some good news. Now, they've done this in California. I didn't even realize that they had a mosquito issue. You'd think it'd be something you'd do in Florida, but the Greater Los Angeles County VCD started to release sterile mosquito males back in 2023, and it appears that when these males mate with females, the resulting eggs don't hatch. So far, they say the pilot program reported an 82% reduction in invasive mosquitoes. And they say it was the first time in 8 years that the mosquito population actually decreased instead of going up.
Can you imagine how technical the surgery is to do a mosquito vasectomy?
Oh my goodness, the eyesight you'd have to have.
The tiniest tweezers and scissor.
And then do you give them a bag of peas, frozen peas on their way out?
But
They're only sore for a couple of days.
But under a microscope in mosquito world, are there some out there that just are packing?
They're the ones that fly lower.
The ones that hover?
Yeah, they're way down a bit. Well, there is a Texas bill known as the Furries Act that would ban non-human behaviors in public schools, like kids dressing as cats.
I don't know how prevalent it is, but I've heard some people say that in some areas, some schools, depending on what school it is, they'll absolutely allow the child to act like the cat.
Well, this is kind of the issue right now in Texas because the representative, Stan Gertis, the bill's author, they asked him, they said, okay, well, give us a specific example where this is happening, and he couldn't identify one. Previous claims that schools provided litter boxes for students have remained unconfirmed, so they don't even have one confirmed report of a school offering the litter boxes. It almost seems like it's an urban legend that's kind of spreading, and so they got this bill, and they say, is the Furries Act really necessary? I don't even know if this is a problem. So because of that, it's kind of left pending right now, and they're like, well, find us where it's a problem, and then maybe we'll talk about it.
Because I did also hear that it's a big internet thing to trick people and it's not really happening and kids aren't dressed. But we brought that up before and parents were calling in going, no, my kid goes to a school where they're acting like cats.
Yeah.
We've seen it. We've been out and we've met kids that are wearing a full-on cat tail and ears.
Right.
Larry David attacked it or addressed it on the last season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. A little girl was acting like a cat, and she like rips off something of his shirt.
There's a new lawsuit that's been filed against Disney. They had a cast member that is accused of taking inappropriate upskirt photos and videos.
A cast member?
Of guests and even other cast members. Ooh. One of the civil suits is coming from a 14-year-old victim.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, that's not a good thing for Goofy to be doing. And there's another suit that happened, came out of South Florida here. A Florida federal judge has ruled that Burger King must face a lawsuit for false advertising coming from 12 different states. The lawsuit claims that the fast food restaurant misled customers by showing burgers and other items in its ads that are much larger than the ones that you actually get in the store. The judge said that the ads do go against typical commercial exaggeration.
All right, then they got to go after everybody. Because my Nachos Bel Grande from Taco Bell, when I get it, it looks like somebody stepped on it.
Yeah,
it does not look like the Nachos Bel Grande in the commercial.
Yeah, maybe it'll carry on to other people. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But Late Night was all over it on The Tonight Show.
Hey, get this. I read that Burger King is facing a lawsuit alleging that their Whopper hamburgers are smaller than advertised. And meanwhile, Burger King's legal defense is that the king has divine power and doesn't recognize any courts.
Wouldn't that be great, huh?
The king doesn't bow to you.
Yeah, come on, get out of here.
This is how we do. It's the KBJ Show.